Bikes are the foundation of our great sport. Whether you're literally the best of the best or just a regular weekend racer, no doubt you'll remember the exact moment you first threw your leg over your first mini bike. That first start, that first ride, that huge smile on your face is what kick-started this lifelong addiction. In this video, I'm on a quest to find out which is the most iconic and the most influential mini bike of them all. I'm sure we'll all have our different opinions and picks, so be sure to drop down into the comments and let me know if I've forgotten any classics from dirt bike history. For now though, let's get the story started. Let's jump in the time machine and head back to the early days of American Moto. The sport of motocross was thriving in the late 60s and early 70s. The American market had just exploded and kids everywhere were watching their dads and their uncles have the time of their lives out in the dirt. And naturally, they wanted a piece of the action as well. And luckily, there were plenty of manufacturers willing to make that a possibility. The mini bike boom of that era saw machines from all over the world having great success. The most iconic of which is probably the Japanese Honda Z50, which launched in 1968 and was the first machine to have huge global appeal. This awesome little machine was in production for just over 30 years, and I'm sure there's many moto heads out there that got their first taste of freedom on board this little monkey bike. The Europeans had some success in the mini-cycle game as well. I'm guessing there's a fair few people watching this video that started out riding on a little Italjet M5C like this example I'm sat on right now from 1979. This Italian brand was founded in 1960 by Ducati legend Leopardo Tartatini, and they're actually still producing motorcycles and scooters to this day. And there is actually a cool bit of history for our friends in the USA, as Italjet actually licensed their mini bikes to Indian from 1968 to 1976. And that includes this 1975 MT5A that I rode in on at the start of the video. And Italjet weren't the only Italians getting in on the act. How about this super rare, super cool Rivara CX from 1988? You definitely would have been the coolest kid in the playground rocking up on this mini Dakar racer. There's been some great mini bikes over the years, and the modern machines from the likes of KTM and Cobra are literally light years ahead of the options that guys my dad's age had back in the day. And don't get me wrong, there's been some proper stinkers as well. I mean, the first real bike that me and my brother had was a garden bike dressed up as a race machine, and it just wasn't cut out for the job at all. But for me, as a millennial, the title for king of the minis is just a two-horse race. Like so many, my first bike was a Yamaha PW50. A 1981 Pee-wee to be precise, which was the first year of its production. So my dad, who was just getting back into racing at the time, bought me and my brother this little Pee-wee when we were 4 and 5 years old. And what a gift it was. We had so much fun on that little bike. It was quiet enough not to upset anyone, and it was small enough to throw in the back of the car and take anywhere. Yet, it was still fast enough to give us young'uns the thrill we were chasing. I have some very fond memories of that bike. We used to sneak it through the woods and the farmers' fields to rip it up and down the green lanes near our house. And incredibly today, in an age where there's a plethora of electric bikes for kids to razz around on, Yamaha are still producing the PW50 45 years down the road. And let's hope that that continues long into the future. The Pee-wee was instrumental in bringing generation after generation into dirt bike riding, And I just don't think that electric bikes are going to attract kids into our magical world of motocross in quite the same way. Arguably, the PW50 is the most influential mini bike of all time. There won't be many pro riders who didn't start out on one. Stars like Ricky Carmichael, Ryan Villapoto, Cooper Webb and even Marc Marquez all served their apprenticeships on a Pee-wee. Yamaha have literally sold hundreds of thousands of these little rippers, and like an old magazine in the dentist's office, they tend to go through lots of life cycles as well and stick around for generation after generation. Like my first Pee-wee, it was in 1981 and we didn't own it until 2001, so it had quite a few lives before me. So there's genuinely no knowing how many millions of motorcycle riders have the PW50 to thank for their passion. So the Pee-wee might be king in the numbers game, but for me it's not just about the numbers, it's about a feeling. So I won't be giving the Yamaha the crown today, but something else. A bike that had its own long production run and became an icon in its own right. It was a machine that caught my attention for all the right reasons and sucked me into the moto life that I lead today. I have a lot to thank this little bike for. Believe it or not, I do actually remember a time before the internet, a time when DVDs were king. And back then, every moto video that came out found its way into our house. From Nitro Circus and Krusty Demons to The Great Outdoors and Relish, we watched them all on repeat. But as a 7-year-old, there was one DVD that we watched more than any other. The one that had kids in it. The one where they rode the bikes that we wanted to have in our garage. The DVD was Mini Warriors Hits, and the segment with Mike and Jeff Alessi, two brothers who were riding KX60s, completely blew us away. The music, the action, and the bikes, which in my opinion were the first real mini dirt bikes, had me and my brother both hook, line, and sinker. In 1983, the first KX60 was introduced as an air-cooled machine. And then in 1985, Kawasaki unveiled the iconic liquid-cooled KX60B1, and that model ran for almost 20 years until the early 2000s. And like I said, for me, the KX60 was the first real mini bike, the first bike that was a miniature version of its bigger brothers. With uni-track suspension, a potent liquid-cooled motor, and that Team Green magic. And yes, I know Honda did do a CR60 back then as well, but there was just something about the Kawasaki marketing back in the day. There was a reason that the Alessis were riding green and not red. And it wasn't just the Alessis that Kawasaki had on board either. No matter where you are in the world, whether it's here in Europe or over in America, the list of Team Green racers is a genuine who's who of moto legends. This is the bike that sold motocross to me. So we never actually owned a KX60 back when I was a kid. By the time I was up into the Junior 65 class, times have moved on to the era of the Austrians. So I never got to own one. But now I do. Today we're going to turn back the clock and I'm going to ride a KX60 for the first ever time in my life. This should be fun. Whether it's big bikes, little bikes, new bikes or old bikes, Pewterline have you covered for all your motorcycle oils, lubricants and cleaning products. This little beauty right here, the KX60, which I think is the most iconic mini bike of all time, is running Pewterline MX9 two-stroke oil A big thanks, as always, goes to Puceline for supporting us here at 909 Laser. As always, we need to say a big thank you to our channel sponsors, 24MX, and I'll tell you about my favourite new find on the website. It's these Pro Works bar ends. There's nothing worse than a torn grip, so you just pop these on the end there. They grip the grip and the grip against the side of the van or the trailer, stop you ripping up the grips there. My favourite new find on the 24MX website. I've linked them down below so you can check them out.
It's not too slow, actually.
They look quite fast.
It's not very stable, I can tell you that. Oh my god! Riding on a KX60 like a proper 90s kid. Come on! It struggles off the bottom with me on it as a big lump. Oh, bunny hop down there. But once you get going, it's pretty potent, this little thing. Actually, if I was a kid, if I was an 8 or 9-year-old, I'd be pretty flabbergasted with this power, you know. When we hit that sweet, juicy power band, oh my god! She feels, whoa! She feels quick! This is sketchy! Probably the most unstable that I've ever felt on a dirt bike, to be honest. A bit wallowy, let's say. Definitely making her work today, my weight on her. Oh, but that sounds good, Jesus! That suspension is not having a good time. My knees keep hitting the bars. But what was I expecting? Was he expecting me to go through there? No chance, I need him. Over the, whoa! Hard on the brakes. Brakes aren't too bad considering they're a drum. On my KX60. Childhood dreams coming true right here. Challenging my inner Mike Alessi. The PW50 is for sure an iconic machine that deserves its place in the Moto Hall of Fame. But in my opinion, the KX60 was the first serious mini racer and the bike that led me to live the life that I lead today. There would be no 999 Laser without the KX60.